Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Zamboni Talk. Before we get started today, as always, I just want to thank you all so much for joining me here today. And I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, everybody that's joining me on this journey. And if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. And as always, any comments you have at all, put them in the comment section down below. All right, so what are we talking about today? Today, we are going to talk about where your mind goes instantly. And where does your mind go for the first thought that it has in a certain scenario? And what do I mean by that? So I'm going to give a bit of an example of it, a breakdown of exactly what I mean, right? So I was talking to somebody I haven't seen in a long time. Once again, I've been running into quite a few of those people recently. However, we started talking about, some various different subjects, and then we got on the subject of watches. I don't know how this really started, to be honest, but we started chatting about watches, right? So we started talking about things. He was talking about maybe getting into watches. He likes them, but he was complaining about the price of them. Just kind of the normal stuff people say. Right? So we started talking, and I mentioned the fact that I love watches because let's say I'm in a circle of some high net worth individuals or some influential people. Let's say I'm at an airport lounge or I'm at a conference or whatever the case may be. If somebody sees a nice watch that I have, and they are a watch enthusiast as well as many high net worth individuals are, then it's a great conversation starter, right? And I also mentioned that most people that are into watch collecting at a high level, that know a great amount, that really take it seriously, are usually individuals that have a lot going on in their life and are quite successful in whatever endeavors they're involved in, right? So anyways, I started talking about that, how I really appreciate the art of watchmaking because it can get you involved in many great circles, right? So the first place that this guy's mind went is, oh, I don't want to have a nice watch because if I go out somewhere and I'm wearing an expensive watch that's fancy, somebody's going to cut my hand off and steal the watch. This is literally what this individual said. And I scratched my head and I said, get your hand cut off because you're wearing a nice watch? Does that happen? I'm sure it does. At some parts of the world, I'm sure that has happened and continues to happen. However, the percentage of people that walk around with nice watches compared to the percentage of people that get their hands cut off is astronomically low. I can guarantee that. I don't know the numbers, I don't have the numbers, but I can guarantee that it is astronomically low because watchmaking is a very popular hobby. It's been going on for hundreds of years, and majority of people that have ever had a nice watch have not got their hand chopped off, right? So I started to think that how many people have a mind like this, that as soon as they think of something, as soon as something is brought to their attention, they immediately go to the negative, to the extreme negative even, right? And this, I started to understand why this individual thinks like this, I'm sure. And I don't hang around people that talk like this. So you guys can let me know in the comment section down below if there's lots of people that think this way. But that is the kind of news and stories they sell you on the news and the media, right? They don't talk about the individual that went to the conference last week and met somebody and had this great conversation about a watch, and now they became business partners and he increased his net worth by tenfold or whatever the case may be, right? No, you don't hear many stories like that because people don't talk about that because that doesn't get sensationalized. But when you hear about somebody that had a Rolex, Submariner on and was walking through the streets of South America and they got mugged and they got their hand chopped off, or they were walking through the hood in, Southside Chicago, or whatever the case may be. I'm just giving examples, right? But those are the stories that you hear, that somebody got held up, they got held at gunpoint, they got beat up, jumped, anything like that, right? These are the stories that you hear on the news, and I find it absolutely ridiculous that that is the first place where somebody's mind goes, right? That's a horrible place to go as a first thought, because if you're thinking about that way about a watch, what's going to happen when somebody comes to you with an investment or a business proposal? You're just going to say the exact same thing again. It's going to crash and burn. I'm not going to make anything. This is ridiculous. There's no way to get ahead. Blah, 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 blah. The story goes on, right? And this is the way they want you to think. Whether you put your tinfoil hat on and believe that's the way they program people to be, or that's the way people become because they watch news that is looking for clicks, whatever the case may be, it is irrelevant. But that is the way they condition people to be, right? So I encourage that anybody that's listening to this channel, and I hope you're tuned into this channel for the daily lessons and motivation, and I hope you have the mindset that anything, it's kind of cliche to say that anything is possible, but with enough work, things become possible that you never realized in the past. Like, not everybody, it's not possible for everybody to become an NBA star or do something like of that magnitude, because there's such a small percentage of, less than 0.5% of people that ever do that end up making it to anything significant, right? But I can guarantee that when you have a mindset that there's no way something can happen, or as soon as you get something nice, your hand's going to get chopped off, as a metaphor, then how would you expect to accomplish that task? It would be absolutely impossible. There's no way that would happen. Because if you have that in your mind, you are not going to put it out to the universe and welcome those new ideas into your life. And that's really what it comes down to, is that if you open your mind and accept the fact that you have to be open to new opportunities to get out of your comfort zone, that has to be something that you strive towards and that you believe is possible every single day, then that's the way it's got to be. Then if you don't think like that, then there's just no way it's going to happen, right? It's absolutely impossible in every which way. And this doesn't just go for watches, although that's something that I have a particular passion for, but anywhere that can get you into circles with ultra wealthy, high net worth, influential individuals is going to be beneficial for yourself, because you are going to gain something from them as long as you have your eyes open and your ears open. That is an absolute guarantee. Right? But the same people that complain about the hands being chopped off are the same people that are going to complain years from now about things being unaffordable, them not being able to start things, not being able to get through things. Everybody's going against them. Those will be the exact same people. And it just so happens that the people that are out there, the grinders, the people that are out there working really hard, that actually legitimately do have stuff to complain about, they choose not to. Right? Because their life is actually difficult. But they choose not to acknowledge it. Right? So I encourage anybody that's tuned in to the Daily Zamboni Talk here as I wrap up my ice cream, that take that leap of faith like the watch. Because even myself, I have to get over the fact that spending a certain amount of money, getting out of my comfort zone in terms of that, is something I have to do. And that goes for all aspects of life. Like, I also have a new endeavor that I'm trying to get into, some sales that I'm trying to get done right now. And it is very difficult because I have to give up, I'm going to probably have to give up a lot of time at my second job. And that is guaranteed income. That's easy. That's fun for me. But I'm going to have to give up a lot of that so I can pursue something that has much greater purpose and much greater earning potential. And that's tough. That's very tough. And that some people will never understand why we do the things that we do. But in order to do anything of great magnitude, you have to be able to do stuff that people do not understand. And that usually means that you're doing something right. When nobody gets what you're doing, everybody says you're crazy. Anything along those lines, that usually means that you're on the right path. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.